Yep, let's do it.
Okay, looks like we're live. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Radio Roundtable. This morning, we've got me, 741, Rob, N1NUG, and we've also got one crazy Nordlander, Kevin. We've got Tom, Hamrad88 from Tom's Radio Room Show, and Bob, Radio Wild, down here in the corner. So today, what we're going to talk about are, I guess, some of our favorite radios. It's going to be just a real informal roundtable chat, just like we were sitting at a ham radio club or a barbecue or whatever kind of a thing. So if you're here live with us, please jump in the chat and interact with us. If not, if you're watching this on the replay, leave us a comment below and let us know what your favorite radio is, that kind of a thing, and we'll talk about it in the comments after the fact. So I think what we'll do first, just to kind of get started and warmed up a little bit, is we'll go around the room, let everybody sort of introduce themselves real quick, and then we can jump into the topic. So I'll just go sort of around the room. As I see it on my screen. It's probably different on yours. But first up in the corner is Kevin, one crazy Nordlander. So it's all yours.
I am from southwestern Minnesota. I got interested in radios and technology way back when I was a kid. I used to take transistor radios apart and stuff like that. I tried to figure out how they worked and everything Anyway, my dad had a shortwave radio that I just absolutely loved. He gave it to me, played with it, started doing that stuff with CBs, and then now at age in the 60s, I got into ham radio, and now I'm kind of coming back around to the shortwave listening and stuff like that, and I probably will get back into CB radios. That's about it. It's about 6 degrees below zero here in Minnesota. We aren't expecting any snowstorms, anything like that, but it is cold. I guess that's all I pretty much have to say.
All right, yeah, you win the prize for coldest this morning. I think it's chilly. It's chilly here. It's about 16 degrees in Connecticut too, but yeah, you get the trophy today, Kevin, for cold. So before I turn it over to Tom, I see Justin Time is in the chat from New Jersey. Thanks for stopping in, Justin. Appreciate you supporting the channel here. So next up is Tom, Hamrad88. Give us a little bit about your channel.
Yeah, my channel I started about 8 years ago and struggled at the beginning, mainly about radios, shortwave radios, scanner radios, antennas, tuners, stuff like that. I live down in Clearwater, Florida, and right now it's 80 degrees and very, very overcast, and we have a storm going through, so I might drop off here at any moment.
Yeah, if Tom drops off, hopefully that doesn't mean he gets struck by lightning. Okay, so thanks, Tom. And then down here in the corner is Bob, Radio Wild. How you doing this morning?
Hi, boys and girls. It's me. And look what I'm wearing today.
Yeah, I don't know where you found that. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's amazing what shows up at your door when you hand over money to a perfect stranger.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hey, look, boys and girls, I did this when I was a kid, and I played around. My dad had a lot of old boat anchor radios, and there were radios throughout the family, and I just got bit by the bug. I started to do some repair work and things like that. I went to a 2-year junior college, learned how to do this officially, but then I kind of got away from it. My career went toward plastics. I'm not even going to go there. But my interests were more into trying to take a small block Chevy and squeeze 300 horsepower plus out of one. And that was back in the 70s. And, 300 horsepower, I know that some of you are probably laughing and falling off your chair, but that was a big deal back then. And, then I kind of bought this house that I'm in. I met my wife and we got married, and it just went on from there. And I didn't have the big bucks to play with cars, so I went back to the radio thing. and I've been doing it now. I've been involved with the New Jersey Antique Radio Club for 23 years now. I actually have to work today at our museum, so as soon as the meeting's over, I'm going to go there. But it's a fun hobby, and it doesn't require a lot of money. So if you want to really do something fun and do it on a budget, this is the way to go, I think.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point, Bob. Now, most of the people watching my channel probably know who I am, but we are also streaming on Tom's channel. So I guess I'll introduce myself a little bit. I'm Rob741 here in Connecticut. And my channel started just kind of me tinkering around in the garage with different things, lawnmowers, cars, whatever was broken, I'd fix it and make a video about it. And because I'm also a radio enthusiast, ham radio and just general radio, I started mixing radios into the mix. And as time goes on, I've done more and more with radios on the channel. So that's kind of where I'm at, just a basic overview there. But again, for anybody just joining us today, what we're going to do this morning is we're just going to go around the room and talk about some of our favorite radios. And we're going to focus more on receivers more than like transmitters, ham radio stuff. It's going to be more what we like to use to listen to, kind of a thing. But really, there's no limit. We're not sure exactly where we're going to go. We're going to keep it kind of informal. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, kind of just a bunch of guys hanging around talking about radio. And so if you've got a favorite radio you want to tell us about, drop it in the chat, and we'll talk about that too. Or if you've got some comments on what we have, on the screen here, then let us know that too. So other than that, let's see. Do we have any other business? Let's check the chat, see if anybody's in. Just in time down in New Jersey, he says it's 24 degrees there. And we've got Steve Eden, K0SRE, 1 degree from central Missouri. And we've got Rich N9 DPR. Good morning, Rich. Thanks for stopping in. You got any chat stuff on your side, Tom?
Yeah, that's why I keep bending over. My chat's going crazy. So I've been trying to keep up with it and respond to each person.
Okay.
We got James Johnson, Tribulation Pepper, One Finger, and on. I can't keep up.
Okay. You almost need a secretary to keep up.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm grateful all these people who showed up.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us over on Tom's channel. Definitely appreciate that. Okay, so I guess we might as well dig in here and get started and start talking about radios. Who wants to go first? Nobody? Okay, go ahead, Tom.
Okay, I wanted to go first so I don't forget what I was going to talk about. So you're going to put some pictures up, Rob?
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, you want me to start at the other one?
No, start at the old one.
There we go.
There we go. So I've got 4 categories, and like Rob said, we may not get to all of them. This is my old school radio. It's a Collins 75-A4. It's AM and single sideband, receive only. It was given to me by a Collins radio collector, and that it wasn't perfect. It had a scratch on the side. He had already done the realignment and changing the caps and everything, and he found another one where that was perfect, so he gave me this one. It's shortwave only, shortwave band only, from 1.5 megahertz to 30 megahertz. It's 1955 to 1958 vintage, and the problem now, it weighs 35 pounds. And about 10 years ago, I put it up on that dresser, and I can't move it. It's just too heavy. So there it stays.
So is it still hooked up, and can you use it?
Yeah, I can still use it. I just have to stand up to use it
Oh, okay.
because the dresser is up high.
Oh, yeah, I see. Okay. And now,
It's,
so is that a general coverage receiver then?
Yes.
Okay.
And it has the tuning knob to the, or the selector knob to the left of the big tuning knob is the band select, and it has 8 bands.
Oh, okay, I see that.
So the 1.5 to 30 megahertz is broken down to 8 bands. So it's very precise tuning. He added that tuning knob in the middle. That's normally not a part of the radio. And that has a little handle that you can fast tune it because the width of the band is quite wide. So it takes a while to get from one end of the band to the next. So
Yeah,
that's my favorite old school.
Yeah, that's a nice radio. I like Collins stuff myself. I think a lot of people would love to have some Collins equipment, but it's a little hard to find, and it's when you do find it, it's a bit pricey.
Yeah, the few that I've found, they were like $2,000.
Wow.
And that, guarantee how well they worked.
Now I don't talk much about my job here on the stream, but the company I work for through mergers and acquisitions is now merged with the old Collins radio company, or what was the Collins company. And I was hoping at some point I could get sent out there and see what they've got, if they have any. I'm sure they've got some old stuff set up in the lobby somewhere. So I think that would be cool to go out there at some point. And maybe after all the craziness in the world is over, maybe I'll get a chance to go out there. But what do you guys think about Tom's Collins here, guys?
It's good radio.
Nice.
It really is.
Beautiful.
Do you have anything like that in your museum, Bob?
Actually, we have that one, and we have a 390A that's rack mounted, and we have a section of the museum which basically goes to like post World War II era boat anchors and things like that. So we have a 75AN and our 390A.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, we've got a pretty nice radio museum here in Connecticut too. It's been a couple of years since I've been there, but I'm not sure if they have any of this stuff there or not. They probably do.
I'm familiar with it, and I've seen pictures of it. I'd love to go sometime, but I've never been there.
Well, we got to plan sometime, Bob. You got to come up, and then I got to come down and go to yours. We'll have to figure that out, maybe over the summer.
All right.
All right. Let's see. What do we got in the chat? Let's see. KJ4UNX is saying that the Holocrafters S38 is his favorite receiver. I remember those. I had one of those myself back in the day. I don't have it anymore, though. Just in time, he says that's a heavy radio.
You got it.
And Rich N9 DPR, he says he likes a good Tom Collins. I like that. You have to have a Tom Collins while you're running your Collins receiver. Anything on your chat, Tom?
I have one new person, Brett Wayne.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I just got one. KI4UYA just stopped in. Wayne, thanks for joining us today. Okay, so there's Tom's radio. Who wants to go next?
I guess I could do it.
Okay, go ahead, Bob.
All right, folks. Well, this was kind of tough on me because I have a lot of radios that I really like, but I guess what I'm about to show you is probably going to be no surprise to some of you. Let me get my share screen up here. And there we go. That's me, all chubby and happy, sitting on my patio with my 1953 H500 Transoceanic. Now, I have a couple of homebrew battery packs I've made for it. Why I like the radio is basically, it goes back to my childhood. My late uncle, who was a Korean War vet, he actually bought one of these, and he passed away, and the radio stayed with my grandmother. And while I was growing up, we'd go to her house after church, and we'd go home first, have breakfast, and then change our clothes, go to my grandma's. And while my parents played pinochle for hours, I grabbed my late uncle's radio and go to my grandma's sun porch with it and sit there. And this is got to remember now, this is the mid to late 60s. So we're, the sunspots were great. There was a lot more shortwave stations. It's not like today. And I just had a blast. I mean, I was like 7, 8, 9 years old playing with this radio. It kind of stuck with me. Now, I never knew what actually happened to the radio. It kind of vanished. And I picked this guy up about 25 years ago and I restored it. It was one of the first radios I did when I was, when I kind of got back into the radio hobby. And I enjoy it. I mean, it has limitations, though. There's no BFO. Although I do have a circuit that I got from a guy that's in our club devised a BFO to use on this. I just have to put it together amidst all the other things I got to try to do. So I'm going to get to it someday. I've got the parts. I just have to put it together. But I really like these radios. The radios have a great history on them, too. Let me show you. They actually made a military version of this radio. This is the R520, I believe, was the number of the radio. And these went out, actually, these were used in the Army and the Navy. Instead of the black stag cabinet, they used the leather. It actually had a little dial light. I don't know if you can see my pointer right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little dial light right there. And there's a tag on the bottom which shows the number. I think they have a close-up. Yeah, here it is. Why aren't it? I thought it's not going up. Hold on a second. Oh, there it goes. There's the tag right there.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see that. Now, there's not a lot of big, the radio is basically the same. They actually used more of the, I forget what they call it, but they tropicalized the inside a little bit heavier to keep the moisture out. And they use tube shields on all the, there's basically 4 1-volt tubes and 1 3-volt tube. They had shields over everything. This is just a ruggedized version of my radio. And you could even take it overseas, and you could get this as an option. This is not a very great picture here. I pulled this off the web. But on the right, next to the speaker, that's actually a ballast, and you could actually switch it over to use that for 225 volts AC or DC by a switch. And it just had basically some componentry in there. These were real big with the, as you can see here in this picture. This was actually a part of a Zenith ad from a long time ago. It's not a great resolution, but you can see these guys, smoking their Lucky Strikes and listening to news from home. And this was another ad. This is my favorite ad. I kind of cheated before. I showed this earlier. And this was an actual Zenith ad where you see this chap here on a camel, and he's holding his H500, getting ready to go travel somewhere. And these poor guys, I guess they're his guide. But imagine if you were sitting on top of that thing, that radio with a battery pack is easy 25 pounds. So you imagine like walking around, riding a camel somewhere, holding a bowling ball. That's kind of like the same effect right there. Then the later radios, you could get the leather, like this radio here, once I get it up. This is actually a Franken radio, I'll explain, but you could get a leather option. These radios, like my radio was $129. That was the MSRP back in 1953.
Wow.
When they came out with the 600 series, like you have here, you could get leather covering as an option, and that actually added $20 to the price of the radio. So this radio would have been $149, and if you put that into the if you got an inflation calculator by, it's like $3,500 in today's money. Why this is a Franken radio is it actually has a military chassis inside of a standard radio. And I found this picture. I thought this was really neat. Right here where I got the cursor there, or the letters USA, and I forgot what it says up here. So this is actually a military chassis and just a general leather case here. So anyway, that's my favorite radio, and I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, Bob. Now you've done quite a few videos on transoceanics and some of the tips and tricks on how to restore and repair them on your channel. I know I've watched a lot of that stuff. So anybody that's out there watching this now or happens to catch it on the replay, if you're looking for information about transoceanics, Bob's the guy. Check out his channel, Radio Wild.
You can actually email me at radiowild67@gmail.com, and I actually get quite a few restoration questions. I do my best to answer them all. I probably get about 2 to 3 a day, and that's no lie. I try to answer them all.
There you go. That's pretty good. Yeah, he's the transoceanic expert. I know a couple of my friends over the years have had them and messed with them. I've never owned one myself, but they are nice radios. In fact, I think my buddy Scott still has one somewhere. We got to put a dial string on it.
There's a lot of clones out there. That's the radio that actually started it all. They started making these just before World War II. And after the war was over, you started to see the clones come out. Like I've got a really tired Stromberg Carlson version of that radio. Has the same tube count. It's an AWP-8. So you may have that radio. You've got a little barometer on the front and another little on the radio and things like that. But RCA had the Strata World. Halcrafters made the TW1000 and 2000. There was a bunch of them. Silvertone made them. And they all used the same tubes that went in that transoceanic.
Nice. We got a comment here from Richard, N9DPR. He says the earliest version of a boombox. He's probably not too far off. But yeah, you still see those come up at the ham fests and the flea markets. Let's see. Oh, Radio Geek just stopped in. Good morning, Radio Geek. We're going to have to get you on the panel here at some point. And join us for the round table.
Rob, he actually helped me out on one of my radios.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. I like his videos too. I love his teardowns. But okay. So that's the transoceanic. Anything else, Bob?
No, that's it.
Okay. Anything on your chat, Tom? Any questions or anything?
Well, I have a number of people that showed up. One of them being Tata Burt.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's another person we like to have on our show.
Yeah.
And we got Mike Presseman. And who else is new? That's all that's new.
Okay, well, welcome to everyone who's stopped in. Did I miss anybody? I'm not sure. If I did, I apologize.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, it is. Oh, somebody just came in here. The agoraphobic Adam, Middle Tennessee. Can't stay too long, but left a big thumbs up. Hey, thanks for that. Appreciate you stopping in for joining us. When you could. No worries at all. The more the merrier kind of thing. And there's Bob's thumbs up. But all right, Kevin, do you want to share your stuff?
I guess I'll have to pick one right now. I just started into ham radio and shortwave radio listening, and I used to do this, like I said at the beginning of the show, when I was a kid. But I think you're going to have to pick. I'm going to have to pick the Texan PL 330, which is available now from Ananto. And listening to Gills at the official SWL channel, he was saying, wait till you get these become available on Ananto, because then they'll come with an English manual and everything. And that is, the manual's great. But I do like this radio. I've played with it for about a week now. I got it on Monday. And the only thing that I have to agree with Gills on is the battery in it. And then that he is going to be showing that here next. I guess it is actually an Nokia battery. It's a rechargeable battery. I don't know why they didn't go with I think it's the 186-550. That was the battery that was in that radio that Bob reviewed not too long ago. I kind of wish they would have went with that, because there's a lot more of those available. But this was available. I was able to get a charger and batteries from Amazon, and then also I did pick up. It does have an external antenna port, which I was really actually surprised doesn't work for AM. But as far as the broadcast bands in the United States, AM. that has got the forget what that's called inside the radio. There, you can maybe help me out with that? Ferrite maybe, or
Yeah, the ferrite rod antenna.
right, and that works with that. So I in my area, I like Bob. I've got I guess I think it's Bob that said you got aluminum siding. I've got steel siding on my house, and it's a little bit tough inside the house. But
So you're living in a Faraday cage as well.
yes, I am.
There you go.
Actually, the basement part is got like a stucco mesh screen on it, so I'm kind of it's not good. The only thing that can maybe come through is through the windows and stuff. But that's I also got the cable from Amazon, and I think Rob's got a video, or not a video, but on that. And that plugs in. It's got a male 1/8 jack and the SO239 at the other end. And I use my ham radio antenna. My antenna is 8010, and that really did work good. I finally got this yesterday. This item yesterday, and it really works wonders. But so right now, like I said, I don't really have a favorite radio yet, but I think this is going to be one of mine. I guess for the price of $60, I thought it was a winner because it will get me get my feet wet a little bit in shortwave radio, and it'll give me something portable I can take with without having to drag a ham radio with, and then a big long antenna. And then I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do for a portable antenna, but I did from I forget what that guy's name is, Jason K4.
Oh, I forget his call. Cam 4ACK.
Yep,
that's his. Yeah, he does a nice job.
This one here, and I do have a Wolf River Coils take it along setup that I'm kind of will probably maybe use with it when I go. But at that point, I'll probably have a ham radio with it anyway. So, but it's just kind of a nice portable solution to me. I thought it was. It worked. The FM is fantastic on it. And it was actually kind of interesting. I could, with the antenna that's on it, the telescoping one, I could actually pick up ham nets and stuff like that with it too. It's got SSB.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask that. Okay. And I know I've asked that before and I forgot.
Right. Yeah. And then the manual is in English, and I read from one end to the other, and it's really become, it's very understandable. And to be honest with you, I would say 2 years or a year ago, before when I started testing for my ham license, I don't think I would have understood this. But after testing, studying and testing with that, it's clear, and not really totally clear, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for my favorite radio for right now.
Okay.
So when we circle around again, I might have my second favorite radio. So
there you go. Well, that's pretty cool, Kevin. That's neat to see that radio. I hadn't realized it was so small, and it looks like a lot of value for the money. I mean, look at how small that is. That's a great radio for camping or something like that. I've got the PL660 that I like to take with me when I'm camping, that kind of a thing. But that's even smaller, and I like that. And I bet you it performs almost as well. But yeah, thanks, Kevin. Let me check the chat. Let's see. Just in time, he's asking, is that a good price for something like that? $60 seems like a pretty good price to me for a radio that does.
I think that's more than fair for that radio.
Yeah, seems pretty good.
What can you get the 880 for, though? I mean, it's not that much more, correct?
I don't know. What does it go for, Tom? The 880?
880, that's about 125 to 150.
So it's double. Yeah.
How about the 660 then?
660 is just under 100.
Okay.
It's that radio is kind of comparable to the 310 ET. Matter of fact, it looks exactly like it.
Yeah. Does the 330 have the synchronous detection?
Yes, it does.
It does. Wow.
And I don't. I'll tell you what, I don't understand that quite yet. I know that's kind of there's been bones to pick about that they do this, and I don't know enough to know that if it actually works the way it's supposed to work. I haven't really found out how to use it yet, to be honest with you. I've used it, but I don't understand it.
Well, you'll get it, and you'll get to play with it over time as you get more familiar with it. You've only had that a week, right?
Right, correct.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of reviews, and it does not work.
Yeah.
Right.
It's useless.
I've seen that.
No, you could still fool with it, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what happens.
And maybe his particular one works.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Anything in your chat, Tom? Anybody asking questions or anything?
Let's see. Oh, he wants Todd Abert wants to know the battery life of the 330.
Well, so far, I have been turning this on and off throughout the week, and I'm on the first battery yet. But excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I charged it right away. I got the batteries like a day before. I got those charged up and ready to go. And I'm on the first battery yet, and I'm not sure if that's got it's got a battery indicator, but I'm not sure if it's graduated enough, if it's going to go from full to nothing or what. I'm not sure. Give it time, I'll know. But so far, I've used it for about a week. I've had it on and off quite a few times. Not constant. I've had it. Last night I played with it for probably about an hour, and so far it's still on full charge.
Do you know what the battery rating is?
Yes. Let me look at it. The batteries. It does not come with a battery. Okay, They don't ship the battery from the Namco overseas. I guess it probably lessens their liability of a fire.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. I'm guessing I would guess this came on a plane, not a boat or a ship. But let me see here. Oh boy. Hold on while I get a flashlight.
Okay, no problem.
Let me share a little insight. I mean, for the little bit of brain that I have, when you ship a battery, it's considered hazmat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's hazardous. That's how they do it. USPS will not ship hazardous material. FedEx does, and I'm pretty sure the UPS does.
Yeah.
But it's usually like $1 or $2 more depending on how heavy the item is.
Yeah.
Amazon does too, and there's no extra charge.
Oh wow.
3.7 volts DC, 1600 milliamp hours.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
5.92 watt hours. Does that sound right?
Yep.
That sounds good.
Yep, that's what I've got, and it's you got I think the link to the Amazon battery. That's what actually the guy from the official. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Gills?
Jill's, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that's what he had recommended. But then again, actually, he did really recommend it. So,
oh yeah. Is this the battery here?
Yep.
Oh, so we had the link. I didn't know I had the link to it. Sorry about that. I would have shared it earlier.
Oh, that's fine.
Sorry, guys.
That's good. Anyway, yeah, that's the one I got, and then that's easy to read the milliamp hours on that one. There you go.
So there's there's the
That
battery.
looks like the old my old cell phone battery. I had a text phone.
It looks like it.
Flat battery.
Yep, it says right there, Nokia BL-5C phone battery.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, it is okay.
I haven't learned to read yet, Tom. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm just familiar with those batteries.
Yeah, I'm in a remedial class, but I'm working my way up here.
Me too.
Hang in there. You'll get there.
The cool part of it is it's got a USB port on the bottom of it. It does have it doesn't charge from USB. It does have the fold out pluggy things. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I've got So Daft Minecraft in the chat. He says this is the first time he's caught us live, and he said he forgot that I did streams. Well, I don't do that many, but I'm trying to at least do once a month with the guys here. I think we have a fun time on a Saturday morning. So it's a little hard for me and probably some of the other guys to commit to like a schedule, but we try to pop on when we can and at least do one a month or so here. Maybe not every month, but then he was asking also about the battery, but we've got that answered here now.
Lithium ion for the person that's asking about the chemistry.
Yeah. Yep. So okay. Anything else on your end there, Tom?
Todderberg says thank you to Kevin for giving the battery information.
Yeah, thanks for showing the radio, Kevin. I know a lot of people were curious about that, myself included. But okay, I guess I'll share mine now. And whoops, where are the pictures?
Oops, we're out of time.
Oh yeah. Give it a thumbs up. We'll see you next week. No, okay. So this is my current favorite old school radio. This is the Drake R4B. Now, of course, probably you guys are the same way here in the stream and on the chat. I bet everybody's the same way. And your favorite kind of changes over time. And right now, this one is my favorite old school tube receiver. I've got a few others here. I've got Hammerlin and that kind of a thing. But this is the one that I like the most right now, the Drake R4B. Now, of course, this is mostly just a ham band receiver. It'll do a little bit of the other shortwave bands and stuff depending on where you tune it, but it's primarily a ham radio receiver, which for me, when I'm listening to shortwave, I'm usually listening to hams. I don't typically listen to the shortwave broadcasts that much, and that's just sort of how I don't want to say, grew up, but that's what I was exposed to when I was a kid. My dad always listened to the ham radio guys on his Hammerlin that was on the kitchen table. So I've just kind of acclimated to that over the years and kind of followed in my father's footsteps. But this is a real cool old school tube receiver. It's nice and sensitive. It works well. But it's got some of the modern features. It's got a notch filter and pre-selectors and things. So you can really pull some stations out with this thing if you want to. And of course it works in tandem with its twin transmitter, which I don't have a picture of here, but there's ports on the back where you can hook up wires and it'll sync up with the transmitter. And in fact, you can control the transmitter with the receiver. So for its day, it was pretty advanced. And these are still kind of sought after. The Drake R4C is probably the top one of the line that works maybe the best. There were some internal circuit changes that made it a little more sensitive and stuff. But the 4B is still a respectable tube receiver, especially if you're looking to listen to sideband or hams, that kind of a thing. And typically with this radio, I hook it up to my 40 and 80 meter fan dipole. And especially in the wintertime when it's cold outside, late at night, everybody else in the house is sleeping, I'll turn this on and just tune around the bands and see what I can hear. I'll turn all the lights off so the glow of the tubes is all I see in the room and that kind of a thing. So that's my current favorite. Like I said, it's just a cool old radio. I picked this up back in 2003 at a yard sale. We call them tag sales here in Connecticut, but I picked it up at a yard sale on the 4th of July. I had just upgraded to General, and I needed a radio to get on HF. I didn't have an HF radio, and there was a guy that was selling a bunch of ham stuff, and he happened to have a whole pile of Drake stuff, and he sold it to me for the money I had in my wallet, which was $75. I got four pieces of Drake equipment, a box of parts, and actually a Heathkit radio too. I ended up selling the Heathkit, but I kept all the Drake stuff. So it's a little.
Rob, hey Rob, let me interject. You did a lot better than those guys that invested in GameStop.
Yeah, right. but this is one of those things that's got kind of sentimental value to it. I'll probably never sell it, so I'll never realize the gains like the guys in GameStop. But someday I want to restore it. I mean, it works okay now. There's really no problem with it, but I'd like to get it all fixed up. I'm just waiting until I have.
That's the reason why those Drake radios command so much money.
Yeah.
I mean, there is the collectability aspect, but they're just really good radios.
Yeah, they are. I mean, now a modern ham radio receiver is going to run circles around this thing, really, but you just can't beat the experience in my mind. I just like using an old radio, especially for my work. I work on a computer all day, and when I'm relaxing and enjoying radio, I want to get away from the computer and play radio sometimes. So that's what I've got for my favorite right now, tube radio. I don't know if it's my favorite overall radio, but right now it's my favorite tube radio. So let me check the chat on my end. Let's see. John Kerner is in there from Alfalfa, Georgia. Thanks for stopping in.
That's my friend.
What's that? Oh, he's your buddy? Okay. Let's see. Steve Metz is in there. Agree with Drake. R4B is a nice radio and easy to work on. Yeah, I've got to brush up on my tube theory. I got to get Radio Wild up here to give me some lessons. But there we go. But I'll get there. Let's see. Those tube sets will help keep your shack warm. Yeah, they do. You can put your coffee on there and keep it warmed up. Let's see. So Daft Minecraft, he says it's insane all the tech inside that big metal box can be had in a tiny USB dongle. That's a good point. And that's something that Tom and I have discussed on previous shows in the past, and we should do another show on that because yeah, I think that's a good topic in and of itself. Justin is asking me how long I owned it. I've had it since 2003. And I bought it, like I said, at a yard sale. Some guy was moving. He was a ham, and he had piles and piles of stuff. It's a good thing I only had $75 on my wallet because he had Yezus and all kinds of stuff, just all old tube stuff, barn full of it that he was liquidating. But but let's see. What tubes does it use? I'm not sure. Bob may know more than I do, but in terms of the receiver, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at a schematic in a while.
I've never owned. I had I think it was a 2B receiver once that I restored and I sold, and I know they were mostly miniatures and a couple of GTs. I have no idea what goes in the 4-line.
Yeah,
I've never had one.
I've looked at the schematic in the past, but it's been a while and I can't remember. Let's see, Eric. Excuse me. Eric Druin is in there. VE2LKR from Canada, Quebec. Thanks for joining us from Quebec today. Let's see. And then Steve Metz says, does your calibrator work on the R4B? The last time I used it, it did. I was able to use it because I had it hooked up. I have the transmitter, the matching transmitter, the T4XB. And back actually when I first got the radios, I used to get on the air with them, and I used to use the calibrator to help get them synced up.
Did that use a crystal for the calibrator, Rob, like a Hammerland?
I'm not sure. Again, I haven't looked at the schematic in a while, and I haven't hooked it up to the transmitter in a while. The transmitter was working, but it was getting a little flaky, so I haven't. Gosh, it's probably been 6-7 years since I had the transmitter fired up.
Probably needs to be recapped.
Maybe, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. And just me being me, I just put it aside. I don't want to take it apart until I know I'm going to have time to put it back together, because otherwise it'll turn into a basket case. So I've just kind of set the transmitter aside, and I fire up the receiver every so often and mess around with it.
Yeah, I think I remember where it just went. It just went over here.
Yeah, right.
There.
Right. It's too cool of an old radio for me to ruin it.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting. Let's see. So Daft Minecraft, he says, okay, I'm new to old tube equipment and I'm trying to research the heck out of everything I can find. Well, I'll tell you what, check with Bob's YouTube channel. He's got a lot of information on tube stuff there, especially receivers. So you can watch some of his stuff. That's how I learned some stuff too. But okay, anything on your chat, Tom?
Yes, I got a comment from James Johnson. He said he picked up the Eaton 750 and he noticed that when you plug it in with the adapter, you pick up a lot of noise. So he's running it on batteries, which is always a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
And one other thing that I caught is that when you were talking about the Drake and about the coverage, I remembered the Collins that I showed before, and you said, was it general coverage? And I said, yes, that's not really correct.
Oh, okay.
It's the amateur bands, but it goes beyond the amateur bands.
Okay.
Like the 80 meter starts at 3.2 and goes to 4.2. So it's not all frequencies. It's extended hand bands, what I'd call it.
Yeah, that's similar to what the Drake, I guess, does.
Because it is a amateur radio.
Right. But yeah, like with the Drake, I like to listen to the pirate stations sometimes. So sometimes I'll put the Drake up and tune down a little bit below 40 and see if I can hear some of the pirates on that kind of a thing. But let's see. Steve Metz had commented on the crystal calibrator, or I'm sorry, on the calibrator. He says it uses 100 hertz crystal. So that answers that question. He probably knows those radios. Let's see. Tahoma, he says, greetings from Seattle. 12 inches of snow overnight, rare here. I would say so. I mean, I don't know much about Pacific Northwest, but yeah, 12 inches of snow seems like a lot for you guys out there. So good luck with that. Wow, I bet that's going to be.
Part of the country has gotten snow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all over the place. They even had, I think, in northern Florida, they even got a little dusting in the Panhandle area.
Oh yeah. I heard it was cold in Texas, and then Tom's
Texas
dealing with
a little bit. Yeah.
Tom's not dealing with snow, but he's got some severe weather down there.
I think the problem is they just don't have the equipment to move the stuff around, or they don't have salt machines like we have up here to watch our cars rust.
Yeah, right. I know it. That's like I gotta have Tom find me a new truck down there.
You got that problem, Kevin? Where you're at?
Yep, everything pretty much is gone on the underside of my vehicles.
Yeah, me too.
So after about 10 years, you can go around like Fred Flintstone.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, we got to go visit Tom, and we can buy new cars while we're down there. Let's see.
The ham radio version of roadkill, you know?
Yeah, right? Let's see. KC9KUH is in there. He says he had the B line and the C line, the Drake radios. And I have to say the B line is a much better radio for the cost. The C line is nice, but you have to do the Sherwood mods to really make it shine. Okay, well, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Good to know that.
Yeah. Let's see. Tahoma says at sea level. Yes. Oh, for the snow. Yeah. I know up in the mountains, that's a different story. But yeah, right around all along the West Coast there's usually not a ton of snow, right along the coast. Let's see. So Daft Minecraft he says, I'm actually going up to a friend's house today and picking up some old tube radios. So I'm excited. I think a few old Kenwood's IRCC, a 520 and an 820. Wow, that's cool. I've got a 520 back there. My head's been blocking it. But I've got a 520 there. That works pretty good. It needs a little bit of work. The VFO is sticky, but other than that, it works great. I like that radio too. But
good luck with that. Have fun hunting.
Yeah, but that sounds good. You're going to have fun picking those radios up and learning about them and messing around. Those are two nice radios. Let's see. Eric Druin, he was up in Quebec, and he says it's negative 21 up there today. So it looks like somebody beat you, Kevin. He's got the prize.
Celsius?
Oh, maybe that's Celsius. Yeah, I don't know.
That could be like 10 above for us.
That's true.
No, I don't know what it is.
Let's see. And then Tahoma says, the problem in Seattle is you cannot travel 500 yards without finding a slope. I have seen cars going by without anyone in them. Oh, that's pretty good. I'll keep that in mind if I know there's going to be a snowstorm coming to the Pacific
I've seen
Northwest.
kids do that with the ghost cars. They stand next to the car and just hold the wheel and just walk the car around in a circle. And now you just see a car and no body. And you're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I bet you it's interesting when that happens. I know, but two of my sisters moved down to North Carolina. One lived in Vermont for most of her adult life, and the other one lived here in Connecticut. And both of them have said the same thing. They get a little dusting of snow down there, and the whole state shuts down. And they're just driving around like, yeah, this is no big deal.
I have a younger sister who lives in the western part of North Carolina, in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
And they get snow and stuff over there.
Yeah.
They're up high.
I think one of my sisters is near Raleigh. The other one, I'm not sure where she is. Yeah. But let's see. Oh, temporary offline is in there again. He says, that was me. Just sign in again. I'm not sure what were you in the Zoom or something? Let's see. So Daft, he says, yeah, I used your video as some teaching material. The 520 is dead TX, so it'll be a fun project. Yeah, there you go. That's the one thing about ham radio. If you're technically inclined, you find some of these old radios and you can tinker with them a bit and learn a little bit about the radio theory and kind of get them going again, and you learn a little bit along the way. That's kind of how I've done it. I still have a lot to learn, but I've certainly learned a lot by breaking stuff or, buying broken stuff and then learning how to fix it, kind of a thing.
So you break a lot of radios?
What's that? Did I break a lot? Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you go around the corner here, there's a whole shelf full of parts. But what are you going to do, right? Andy Cowley is in there. Thanks for stopping in, Andy. And let's see. Tahoma said he lived in Vermont. I understand snow. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I've got a lot of family that lived in Vermont and still does. I learned a lot about winter going up there. Well, not that we don't have it here in Connecticut, but they get a lot more snow up there in Vermont than we do here. Let's see. Dallas Rife is in there. Good morning, Dallas. Let's see. He says, good morning, and to the rest of you gentlemen, good to see you all on the air. Yeah, thanks for stopping in. And Steve Metz, he says, the Drake R4B tubes are 6BZ6, 2 6HS6, 12 BE6, and 3 12BA6s, 6 EH5, and a 12AX7A. So 12AX7 I know. A couple of the others I know, but like I said, I'm not up on my tube theory like Bob is.
Well, the BA6 is just that's RF. BE6 is a converter. I heard a 6AH6, I think. I forget what that is. 6BC6. I know the tube, but I know that they have transconductance problems, but they like the Hammerlins have them too. I forget what they do. The fun thing about tubes is, don't be intimidated by a tube. All a tube is, it's basically a big diode that lights up.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows what a diode is, and that's all a tube is. It's a diode in a glass envelope that glows in the dark. That's all it is.
Yep.
There's an anode side, there's a cathode side. You got grids in between that just filters the flow of electrons from the anode side to the cathode side. That's all it does.
Yeah, I hear you.
Have fun with it.
Yeah, the only thing you got to be careful of with tube stuff is the voltages are a little higher. So
Yeah.
especially with transmitters. So keep your wits about you.
Yeah, so you want to keep the family pets and small children away from things when you got powered up.
Yeah. I learned that the hard way with a Yaesu FT101, but I'll tell that story another time. Let's see. Wayne KI4UYA is in there. He says I-40 in Asheville gets closed a lot in the wintertime. I don't doubt it. 1958 John Deere is in there. He says, hey, Rob, I know what a speaker is. Yeah, He does. He left me a comment the other day on my Drake video, and he said the only thing he knew when I was going through the inside, the only thing he recognized was the speaker. But I don't think he's given himself enough credit. I bet he knows a lot more than that. Let's see. Your video on the 520 was actually how I found your channel. I'll just need to be careful with the plate voltage on the tubes. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I could tell a story about a Yaesu 101 that had a loose cover inside, and but I won't. Not today. Let's see. How you doing, Andy Cowley? And Eric did confirm that negative 21 Celsius is 5.8 Fahrenheit. So negative 5.8. So he's about the same as you, Kevin. Let's see. If you aren't talking radios, or if you're not breaking radios, you're not trying. That's what Steve says.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. Can I make a bumper sticker out of that?
Our club has a repair clinic a couple times a year, but COVID kind of held us back. But when it opens up again, I want to use that one.
Yeah, you should make that sign and
from you.
Put it on your table. I've seen the videos you've made on that repair clinic. Let's see. Tahoma says he was chatting with Don Stoner's son a while back. I did a little work for him. Don's radios are getting rare. Really appreciate his work with his radio designs and his work with SGC. Yeah, the old Stoner CB radios are quite collectible. I know there's a couple of guys I talk to locally here that collect old CB radios, and those are on the top of the list for collectability. But anything in your chat, Tom?
Nope, I'm all caught up.
Okay. Well, we're getting close to the end here. We kind of wanted to hold this at an hour today. We didn't want to go too long. I think everybody's got some other things to do here on a Saturday, but we'll definitely do this again. And we'll either continue the radio's topics, or we'll find something else radio related to talk about, either antennas or whatever. Let us know either in the chat here now if you're watching live, or later on if you're watching in the replay. Leave us a comment down below and let us know future topics that you're interested in, that you'd like us to talk about. We're just kind of having a Saturday morning chat over coffee and just talking about some radios, just kind of getting ready to start the day here. So we appreciate everyone kind of joining us joining with us here today. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's always a good day to talk about radios, I think. But it's fun to talk with you guys and have everyone in the chat too. So any parting thoughts from you guys?
Thank you for having us.
No, appreciate you joining in there, Kevin. Like I said, you showed off your 330. I think a lot of people were curious about that, so I think you answered some questions on that. So that was cool. Any parting thoughts, Tom?
Nope. I thank Rob for setting us up.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks again for joining us. And what about you, Bob? Any last words? Any final words?
All I can say is, well, first of all, thank you for having me as well and putting this together. And if you are interested in any aspect of radio tube or otherwise, don't be afraid to delve into it. And especially with the older gear, there's an awful lot of information on the web that I could waste another 10 minutes naming off websites. If you happen to come across something, even if it's just an old AA5 radio from the 50s or 60s or something like that, you get it for $5-10 at a yard sale. Hey, you got nothing to lose. Try to make it work. It might be fun and you might enjoy it. As long as you have a roll of solder and a soldering iron, you can have some fun. So have at it.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good way to put it. Let me check the chat here for the final time here. Let's see, where did I leave off? Let's see, Dallas Rife, transmitters next time. Okay, so Richard wants us to talk about transmitters next time. Let's see, Radio Geek says, nice work, good seeing you. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Radio Geek. Next time we got to get you in the panel here with us on the show. You've got a lot of radio insight. it would be great to have you join us. So we'll talk you into it. Let's see, just in time. Thanks for taking the time to do the show. Love the stream. Glad you were able to make it. Appreciate you joining us and supporting, my channel and stuff. Everybody's giving thumbs up. Let's see. Tahoma says Stoner made a 1080 meter SSB. Have a look and keep your eyes peeled for. I didn't know that. I did not know Stoner had a 10 to 80 meter radio. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that. That would be cool to have. But I bet you it's pretty rare, and if you find one, it'd probably be pretty pricey. Let's see. Dallas says, I've left the magic smoke out of a couple of radios over the years. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of magic smoke floating around in the air here, I'll tell you that. Let's see. Andy says,
I got stories I could share on the next one.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Andy says, just remember to have a stick in the shack. Okay. And let's see. Tahoma said it was ahead of its time, the Stoner. Yeah. All right. So I guess that's it. Any last chats on your side, Tom?
Just one. James Johnson says, great show, gentlemen. Be looking forward to the next one.
Okay, well, thanks, James. Thanks to everyone on Tom's channel. Again, I mentioned it in the beginning, but I didn't mention it throughout. I kept forgetting. But Tom was streaming on his channel, too, so we kind of had this going out, multiple streams there. So thanks to everyone who joined us. And we'll catch you again maybe in about a month or so. Look for us again. Maybe if we can pull our act together, and when I say we, I mean mostly me, we'll do it sooner than that. But maybe next month in March we'll do this again on a Saturday morning. So keep an eye out, grab a coffee, and feel free to join us. So catch you later, and 7-3 to everyone.
Stay warm and stay safe.
I'll try.